Fire Emblem Fates, the tactical RPG which signaled the comeback of the hardcore franchise, only for it to now be flooded with waifus and husbandos. The game was released on the 3DS during its prime, and expanded on a lot of changes that came from Awakening, while also lowering the barrier of entry for newcomers, helping drive up its sales to astronomical numbers, which also annoyed the hardcore Fire Emblem fans for how weeb and generic it was. God, I wish the series was almost dead again. And due to all this, out of all the Fire Emblem games out there, yes, I'm not forgetting you, Fates was able to grow the largest non-mobile Fire Emblem fanbase with its simpler mechanics, an overdose of waifus and husbandos. And with such a large fandom, of course there are gonna be plenty of fans who love to meme. Now, Fire Emblem Fates was released in Japan on June 25th, 2015. Well, released meaning 2 of the games were released, but the third part came out 2 weeks later to, you know, generate some extra sales. The game did come over to the West a year after that, and well, this was truly a hectic time period. From the announcement in January 2015 to its release in 2016, fans would go into overdrive trying to work out, what is this game going to be about? What would the game contain in its 3 parts after Nintendo said to IS, yeah, okay, you're a franchise again. Because Awakening brought in a lot more people, and as such, this was the most anticipated game in the franchise's history. So in amongst all the blurry scans and confusing imagery, wait, what's with all of the love hearts? Were the numerous characters being shown off. Now, since a lot of the fandom didn't really know Japanese, they would come up with nicknames for nearly every single character. For example, Blonde Marth, Gaston, Cow Miller, the Second Coming of Donald, Guy Fieri, and many, many others. What's amusing is that even after the Japanese names were revealed, a bunch of them got changed for the Western release, like Kamui to Korin and Aqua to Azura. So let's just say that there's a lot of nicknames going around for the fans to use. But of course, the most notable one is dear old Lobster Lord. What just started from fans wanting to know his name after the trailer, hey, this dude kind of looks like a lobster, led to hundreds of memes and edits of Ryoma with lobster-related imagery.
Surgically transformed Skinner here into, some kind of a lobster-like creature. Well, now wait just a minute.
Kiss me, you fool.
Fans would use the phrase lovingly and also as an insult. But don't think that was all the names the fans made up, as they gave Corrin the nickname Corn. Wait, but I don't see the resemblance.
Then what's this? That says corn.
Oh, the name sounds like corn. Yes, very funny. But of course our angry little brother couldn't escape the fandom, as he also got a nickname as Pineapple, because you know he looks like a pineapple. Now, amongst all the pineapple memes the fans made about Takumi, there was a big political movement against him. Hashtag blame Takumi. All starting from a stream where Takumi, just being himself, just trying his best, caused the chat to go into overdrive with this hashtag, and spreading it to the far reaches of the internet. Which now meant that if any fan wanted to blame something for their game over screen, they blamed Takumi. And I guess all of this hate caused Takumi to get angry at everyone, leading to the catchphrase, Norian scum, being quoted by him constantly, even though he never said it. Clever plan, Hinoka. Clever plan indeed.
Scum. Close your eyes for a moment.
Now, since the dialogue boxes of Fire Emblem are very recognizable, fans created a text generator which edited texts and sprites to make their own funny situations. Warning, level of comedy may vary. Now, this was a big thing for fans to latch onto, as it was the pivotal moment in the game, where you have to pick the side which has the hottest characters. And of course, this got memed to death, with tons of edits, videos, and comics. Do you go for the Japanese-styled red team, or the medieval-themed purple side? I mean, either way, you're stuck with sibling love, which the fans really love to meme, until you actually beat the game and find out technically you're not blood-related, meaning all those dirty things you did can now be overlooked. Or you can pick the third side, the one with the hottest character in the entire franchise. Settle it in Smash! Now, getting your franchise represented in Super Smash Bros. Was a huge accomplishment, and the fans let everyone know with Corrin's inclusion as the Fates representative. Fire Emblem fans rejoiced at more characters, but everyone else was like, ew, Fire Emblem again? Can you please stop this? There are too many sword fighters now. I mean, he's also technically a dragon who looks like RamZaes. The point is that Chrom will never make it in, okay? A barefooted, chainsaw-wielding piece of corn made it instead of you, buddy. Oh my, these memes are so dated now. Okay, so from what I can tell, here's how it goes. Nintendo wanted to off Fire Emblem if Awakening didn't sell, so the team decided to put as many new and interesting features into the game. And what do you know? Waifuism helped it sell. So while IS packed up their things, Nintendo came in and went, oh no, don't stop. We gotta milk this thing for all it's worth. So for the next game, what could they do? Well, one team just wanted to expand on Awakening with some improvements. Team B, however, wanted to go full lewd mode with the game and make Fates as dirty as possible for a 3DS title, which wasn't much at the time. But regardless, after reading about it in interviews, the hardcore fans will now always semi-jokingly blame Team B that they were the ones who ruined the franchise, which in turn helped it become one of Nintendo's top sellers. Yeah, it's a touchy double-edged sword in the fandom. Speaking of which... So in the Japanese version, the petting minigame was toned down from Team B's earlier ideas, but still retained some of the more weeb aspects. This didn't fly too well with the localizers, and so it and a few other things were removed. Now, given the hype for this game, this move naturally made headlines, and of course brought in the argument of censorship amongst the fandom. This debate still goes on to this very day. But in the end, the only thing that matters is that Leo apparently likes tomatoes.
That's it. Yeah, boy.
Well, I don't know what to say. It seems like every fandom I cover decides, hey, you know what? This dude, he said he likes this food. Let's meme it. And I guess that's what happened here with Leo. It even has fan fiction.
We've got trouble.
You better believe it. Well, one of the most notable memes in the fandom are the character voice lines, and out of all of them, the most popular one is Felicia and her adorable catchphrases. The clumsy maid became a huge fan favorite amongst Western players for how cute her voice sounded while saying her quotes. Thus it spawned many memes, including the Felicia simulator, and a certain YouTuber's first semi-viral video which he still is insanely proud of. Bless you, Felicia. May you continue to shine, a beacon of hope.
Didn't expect that, did ya?
Victory is mine!
Now something from the hardcore fans, who you know, actually care about the stats in game, they made some memes about how some of the stat growths were for some characters. I mean, you had Rinka, a tank of a unit, design only, as even her stats were lower than this fragile flower. Not to mention Azura, who is somehow stronger than Ike. I mean, she does have an imposing presence because her song is drilled into fans' minds with its constant overuse. Yes, the unofficial theme song to Fates, sung by Azura, while she wears black to somehow disguise herself, what? And this song was constantly used throughout the game, thus leading the fans to get the song stuck in their heads, and now they all meme Azura, while they struggle to find a good audio clip of the English version of the song that cuts out all of those increasing groans of discomfort. I guess I'll mention this quickly, as this is purely down to the fandom's choices. Yes, you can marry a unit in your playthrough, so naturally there are ships between Corrin and some other character. Then you have whatever ship you can make between the remaining characters that you pair up in battle. And since there are so many characters, fans will ship them even if the game doesn't allow it. Now due to this, there is no true agreement on what is the absolute best ship in the fandom, but at least we can all agree that some of them are just amusing. And finally, the YouTube fans. Meme edits. My goodness, there are just so many edits where people take the sprites and just overlay them onto some other funny video. I mean, there seems to be no end to them. You even have tons of videos of Takumi doing stand-up comedy, not to mention the countless cracks and YTPs. But even amongst all that, you can still find some gems, mixed in with the animations and discussions, and just really well edited videos. Plus, while scrolling down in the comments, you will see the usual. People arguing about who is the better waifu, how Fates ruined the franchise, and why male Corrin is the worst being in existence. And that was all I could fit into this very short video about the Fire Emblem Fates fandom. Yes, I still had to leave some things out, like the abundance of Miiverse posts, and how fans worked out how to get their waifus onto their desktops. Yes, you heard me. But even with all that, the fandom is still one of the biggest ones out there, growing from a game that wanted to please Nintendo sales targets, and was able to change the face of Fire Emblem from one of tactical prowess to that weeb Nintendo game with all them hot pixels on a screen. I rate this fandom, out of 10. And as for the fandom's future, well, the game was only released a few years ago, and the fans still continue to make memes and discussions on it. I mean, it is helped by the fact that Fire Emblem Heroes constantly keeps adding characters from this game, not to mention Fire Emblem Warriors. Yeah, I don't think this fandom is gonna fade away anytime soon. And that means you ain't going anywhere, buddy. So now you still have to answer my question. Which team do you choose? The red team, the purple team, or the green team?
You're just a stain!